Before we jump into the episode today, I want to share something with you from my heart. First of all, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I really can't tell you how much your support means to me. We've been doing the podcast now for almost 4 years. I can't even believe it. And I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you that listens, shares an episode with your friends, sends me a DM or a text message letting me know how an episode resonated with you or any aha moments. Seriously, I couldn't be more grateful to be able to create this podcast. It has been such a blessing in my life, and I love hearing the ways it's been able to provide value in yours as well. One thing you might not know is how much work it takes to be consistent with a podcast. In fact, did you know that the majority of podcasts don't make it past episode number 10? And we are well beyond that. And it's just a lot thinking of the episodes, recording them, editing them, managing the guests, making sure that everything runs smoothly and gets uploaded consistently and regularly. And so that's why I have created an amazing opportunity for you to support the podcast monetarily. And in exchange for that, you will get exclusive premium subscriber content. So for as little as $3 a month, you can become a premium subscriber of the podcast. And every month I will upload new voice-guided workouts and breathwork meditation audio for you. So that way you can work out with me, coaching you in your ears. You can also take a moment to reduce your stress and relax and come down and ground down with one of my breathwork audios. So if that is on your heart to support the podcast for as little as $3 a month to become a premium podcast subscriber, I can't tell you how much that means to me and the growth of this podcast. I appreciate you. If you're interested, click the link in the description, become a premium podcast subscriber, new content every month, and while supplies last, I'll send you an exclusive podcast coffee mug so you can have your self-love and sweat coffee every morning. I appreciate you. Now let's get into the show. Welcome to Self-Love and Sweat, the podcast, the place where you'll get inspired to live your life unapologetically, embrace your perfect imperfections, break down barriers, and do what sets your soul on fire. I'm your host, Lunden Souza. Hey friend, it's me, Lunden Souza, online lifestyle transformation coach. I help people all over the world just like you who know they are meant for more, get their mind right and their body tight, and go from crazy busy to crazy happy. And hey, if it's our first time meeting, welcome. So happy to have you. And if you've been with us for a while, it's so great that you're here too. I'm really excited to share this episode of the Self-Love and Sweat podcast with you. Hey, I want to tell you quickly about 2 ways that you can get connected beyond the podcast to up-level your health, your life, your fitness, reach your goals, but also support the podcast as well. So the first option is our Self-Love and Sweat monthly members-only meetup. We meet up on the last Saturday of the month on Zoom for 90 minutes to cover some important topics, to answer your questions, and then to also do a workout together. It's a great way to have that support, have that accountability, get supercharged, and get reminded that there are other people all over the world on this journey of self-love and sweat, and you don't have to do it alone. You can join your first month for only $1 using code SELFLOVE1 at checkout, and then it's $27 a month after that. So you go to lifelikeLondon.com/monthly, use the code SELFLOVE1 at checkout to try us out, test it out for only $1 for your first month, and then you can be on board to listen to the podcast, join up on the meetups, and just really feel like you're connected and thriving on this journey to reach your goals. The second option is our Strong at Home for Women 8-week dumbbell-only workout plan. We have women all over the world getting stronger from the inside out right at home, right? So we're ready to take action to get stronger despite the circumstances of the world. And we know that we're not about to do that alone. So embark on this 8-week journey with us. You can go to lifelikeLondon.com/strong at home. You can pick up your 8-week plan. And the exciting thing is that every 8 weeks, we open it up, myself and my co-coach, for VIP all access coaching with us. So not only do you get the plan, but you get Zoom fireside chats with us. You get an exclusive way to chat with us anytime so you can ask your questions, share your progress. And we're always continuing to stay connected and motivate and inspire each other on our journey to get stronger, no matter what that means for us. So if you know that you're meant for more, you're ready to get stronger from the inside out, and you're just like, yes, I need a plan and some structure, something to tell me what to do. I know I'm ready, but I need that coaching. I can't do it alone. We are here for you. You can go to lifelikeLondon.com/strong at home, pick up the plan, figure out when our next VIP all access registration is opening so you can get that support and guidance. And the third thing, I said there was two, but the third thing is you can do both. You can join us for those monthly meetups. You can be there for the 8-week program. You know, this coaching and this support is here for you. We want to get you real results that last so you never have to start over again. And so you guys are awesome. Enjoy this episode. Get connected. Self-love and sweat, friends. Hey friends, today we're going to talk all about how changing your words and the way that you talk to yourself, what's going on between your ears, and how that can change your world. Okay. And I think that we've all experienced that in one form or another, where we change our words a little bit, shift our perspective a little bit, see the grass, as greener a little bit, and got a glimpse a little bit of how that can be impactful. Or maybe you've seen a person where you're like, this person seems super happy, super alive and vibrant. And like they are, maybe saying all these annoying things about how amazing life is and all this kind of stuff. And I think that we can all kind of have some sort of glimpse or understanding in what I say and what I mean when I say, change your words, change your world. This is a major, major, major one. And this is something that I think should be revisited on a regular basis. I find myself, even now, I've been doing a lot of this reframing work, changing my words, changing my world, changing my reality based on how I perceive it. Like I've been doing this work regularly for a little over 3 years. And I still find myself, some old narratives coming up, or I wouldn't even say old ones, but ones I didn't notice yet. Ones where I was like, oh yeah, like you really beat yourself up in that area, or you really talk down to yourself, or you say that repeated pattern and phrase a lot. And like, is that serving you? So I feel like this is a continuous work. This is not here to call you out on all the things that you say and how you should be reframing them now and how whatever. It's just that it's a fun game and it's a fun process when you choose to have fun with it, especially when you choose to have fun with it while knowing the significance and the importance of your words and what you say, right? If you keep talking about how you're like from the beginning, from the morning, right? When you start your morning, do you start your day? Oh, I'm so tired. I have so much going on. I have so many meetings. My life is so busy. I know I'm already going to be late. I know I'm already going to be tired. I know my coworker and this person's already going to be annoying. Like all this story we create, right? And if we choose in the morning to wake up and be grateful, put our feet on the ground. I am alive. I am ready to serve. I know the impact that moving my physical body and rising and shining has on my emotions and my vibes. And even if I don't feel like getting up and doing the thing, I'm going to do it because I can. Okay. Like that is some powerful stuff right there. And it might just be like, okay, Lunden, like who really does that? No, I do that. You should really have a morning routine that incorporates talking up to yourself, right? Change your words, change your world. Like rise and shine, wake up. I'm alive. I am ready to serve. Like I can breathe. There's people around me that love me. I have a roof over my head. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sometimes in the morning when I find that things are creeping up into my brain that I don't think belong there at that time, right? I'm like, nope. I just repeat, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So thankful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And sometimes I'll add in, I'm so thankful to be alive. I'm so thankful to be breathing. Thank you to be able to put my feet on the ground. I'm so grateful, like just immense amount of gratitude and a lot of just repeating that word, thank you. Like literally in your brain, if you're thinking about all the things that you need to do and you just start repeating, thank you, thank you, thank you, and just bringing immense gratitude, like it's going to bring some ease. If not, hopefully make you think about the rest of that stuff later and say, no, like now is my time to kind of set my foundation on the rules and reins for my brain, right? Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I absolutely love, I follow his work extensively. He calls it like taming the dog, when it comes to meditation, like, nope, sit, stay. But even when you're taming that dog of those thoughts, it's like, no, like reframe, and I think anyone who's ever trained a dog before, a puppy or whatever, you see the power in that repetition and continuing to correct that behavior over and over and over again until it really just becomes like non-existent. It's not a part of you anymore, and I think that's so, so, so powerful. And, any time of day. Really any time of day, maybe you notice that you start spiraling into like negative thoughts and thought patterns, leading into a certain, meeting, whether it's in person or on Zoom, or leading up to a certain interaction. Maybe you notice it's in the morning, like I mentioned. Maybe you notice it's before you go to bed. Maybe you notice it's all three, right? A lot of us have multiple moments in our lives where we go on autopilot and at all the things that are habit and routine just like come back into play without really like catching it, saying like, hey, like these are not the thoughts I want here. This is not the world and the perception I'm, working to create. Like, no, you are not welcome here, and identifying those moments in your day when you realize, hey, that's a moment when I really go down that rabbit hole. That's a scenario when I really beat myself up. That's a scenario when I just kind of like, whoa, like I'm a little bit of a bully to myself. I kind of put myself down in that area, and man, like I need to be amping myself up. It's no wonder I'm, not feeling so great in that area. I'm beating myself up all day long and, not even allowing myself to kind of, show up in that space. And so I think that's really important, is to think about, okay, number one is really that awareness, of saying, hey, like, oh yeah, I say that a lot. I really like say I am lazy a lot. I really say like I am a procrastinator a lot. I really say like I can't do that a lot. I really say that I'm not good at that a lot. It's like if you keep telling yourself that, you're just going to reinforce that. And we have to understand that when we want to make changes in our lives, it can't be reliant on things outside of ourselves, like people to change or circumstances to change or all those things to change. Like we get the opportunity to change, moment by moment, thought by thought. But it really is, it is being as persistent as training a puppy, if you've ever done that before, or, disciplining a child and just really trying to guide it in that direction. It's like, hey, no, you can't do that. Can't do that. No, back over here, back over here, back over here, back over here. And it might feel like you do that a million times. And then eventually that one, is gone, and you've reframed that, and it's different. And I think, one of a main example I use a lot, and it's been profound in my life. I even talked about it today on one of my coaching calls. But one of the words I used to say a lot was, I am busy. I am so busy. I am so busy. Like, sorry, I didn't call you back. I'm super busy. Hey, what's up? I just wanted to give you a call back. I'm super busy. I'm on my way to my next meeting. Like, I'm super busy right now. My life is super busy. How are you? Super busy. Like, my name is Lunden, super busy Souza. Like, that was literally me. Like, I just found so much value in being busy and doing all the things, and I decided that, especially when I started coaching and getting more and more clients, it was like a lot of people were drowning in busy. And I was like, okay, like I'm not going to do that. So what is going to be a reframe? And I decided to switch busy with full. And so now I say, yeah, I have a really full and abundant day. How was your day? Really full and abundant. A very full schedule, very full, very filling, abundant fullness. And that for me makes me feel better and makes me show up better, because I just love showing up to a full, abundant, full, juicy day, right? Versus then a busy day. That just sounds, scattered, and full sounds more intentional.
And I like to bring more intention to my day. And so maybe there's a specific word that you say a lot, like I am a procrastinator. I am lazy. I am busy. I can't, and how can you just slightly reframe that? I have a friend who uses the word nightmare a lot and will say certain things are nightmares. And one time I just kind of implanted blessing, like it's a blessing, it's not a nightmare. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as just like picking that word. Once you have the awareness of it, you'll start to notice it in yourself and others. Okay. But don't be that person who notices it in everybody else and doesn't point the finger back at you. Okay. Like you do it too. There are words and ways that you can clean up your words, change your words, change your world. But yeah, you'll start to see that in other people and like see that in yourself. And it can be as simple as that. Like, hey, that word, I want to reframe that. I want to change that. I don't want to be the busy person. I don't want to be the lazy person. I don't want to be the whatever label, you've put on, and understand that you have the power to change that, right? Like maybe you did a lot of things that would put you in the lazy category, right? And you're just like a lot of inaction. Okay. But like one moment of inaction or one moment of action against all these moments of inaction still makes the opportunity or the possibility to not be lazy exist, right? So it's like you're not lazy unless you're lazy all the time. But there could have been seasons or phases where you just had, you were lazier, maybe lower energy, certain things were going on, whatevs. But that doesn't make that who you are, okay? That doesn't make you that. I think another important point to talk about when it comes to change your words and change your world. I've talked on this topic for a while, change your words, change your world in different ways. The ways we talk about things like this and motivation, consistency, whatever, it's like those topics always exist, but but it's always evolving, and this part, I recently did a video on IGTV about this because I feel like this is a big one when it comes to change your words, change your world. And it hasn't been part of how I taught this. So this part is like new when it comes to how we use our words, and that's going beyond being the person that is just fine, air quotes, just fine. How are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm just fine. Everything's good. It's good. How you doing? Good. And I think that when we really want to transform our world through connection and relationships with other people, we have to go beyond the just fine friends, the just fine conversations, the just fine responses, right? That doesn't mean that you need to give the whole enchilada all the time. That doesn't mean that when someone asks how you're doing or you ask someone how they're doing, that it's like the turn on switch to talk about every single thing negative and horrible going on in your life. Yeah, if you need to vent and get things out, please do that, get that out, shake it out, all the things. It's important to get that support, right? But it's one thing to be like, okay, we just unload all the negative stuff and just together, versus no, when we ask each other, hey, how's that going? How you doing? Full permission to say, yeah, things might not be fine or things might be super freaking great, right? Maybe you want to be like, things are great. I'm feeling good. Like I'm feeling vibrant. I'm feeling alive. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling fit. I'm getting good sleep. Maybe I'm gaining weight. I'm gaining strength. I'm getting more muscle. Like, things are working. Things are lining up. I'm so happy. Sometimes we hold back on that because we don't want other people feel like we're bragging or whatever, and then sometimes it's the other end too. Like, hey, you know what? Things are not so great right now. Like, what? I'm blessed. Everyone's healthy, but I'm really struggling with this. I'm really struggling with this certain situation that was making me feel a little bit like not a great leader. It made me feel a little bit like sticky and uncomfortable. I really had to kind of face the mirror in that situation to a shortcoming in my life, something I need to work on. And like, that was tough, Like, doesn't that feel good to like have those conversations with people? That didn't take me 5 hours. That took me a few minutes of just kind of, getting that out. And I think when we practice that response of full permission, of ownership, of wins. And also when things are kind of crappy, you get to change your world because you get to start to bring deeper truth in relationships, and you get to start to bring those people closer to you and have, people who come into your life that want to dig deeper and want to really know how you are and don't just ask because they think that's what they're supposed to do, right? Don't just ask because you think that's the cordial thing to do. Yeah, you might be in the grocery store and you see someone, or you're walking and you see your neighbor. Hey, how you doing? Oh, good. Nice to see you. Whatever. There's a time and place for some of those quick interactions. I'm not asking you to like sprint across the street to your neighbor walking the dog and like, no, really, how are you? But you're in those situations with certain friends and people that you love, and you're just like, hey, like, how's it going? Or you might, haven't had a chance to catch up with them, but certain things that might have happened in their life or vice versa. And it's like, hey, like, how's it going? Yeah. I'm here for you. I want to hear the world as well, but if we want that from other people, we have to do that ourselves too, which can be kind of sticky and uncomfortable. And there was some really powerful situations that presented themselves to me where I had an opportunity to share and to open up with some people that I really trust and admire. And I think that, not only was I saying it to them because I just wanted to get it out, but I felt like it was landing on good ears. And I knew that whatever feedback that they were going to give was fully welcomed. In fact, I wanted it. That's why I was kind of putting that out there. And in the end, we just had a really nice synergy and dynamic of talking about situations that were kind of sticky and uncomfortable for us, and how we felt kind of embarrassed, and how we felt like, this is like a reminder that there might be some dust under certain rugs we need to clean. And that's cool. Right? What initially sparked this change your words, change your world topic, which, like I said, I've talked on in a variety of different ways before. But what initially sparked this was when I was living in Austria. I had an amazing group of friends. I have an amazing group of friends. They still live in Austria, and I'm back in America. I miss them dearly. But we would do escape rooms together. I don't know if you guys have heard of escape rooms before. Let me know if you've heard of escape rooms. But there are these rooms where you go in with your team and you escape a room, whether it's like you escape jail, or you figure out the code to put out a bomb before it explodes, or you figure out the cure to a sickness. There's always like a challenge, something that you do in this escape room, and you have like an hour to do it, or sometimes longer. But I had a group of friends and we did a ton of escape rooms. Like, we were obsessed. They still do them regularly. We would do weekends, like getaways, and do like 8 escape rooms, right? We would like totally go hardcore, and you do like logic, math, just like a bunch of like locks, just like different types of things, problem solving, all different types of problem solving that kind of relate to everybody's kind of unique learning form. So some things are more like hands-on, some things are more visual, some things are more mathematics, some things are more like fill in the blanks or look outside the box or Roman numerals or just whatever, right? So anyways, we were in Salzburg in Austria, and we go to do this escape room, me and there's 5 of us in total, but it was actually, I think 3 of us, including myself. So 4 of us at this actual escape room that we did in Salzburg. And we go in, and we were like the first people of the day. And I think we were a little bit late, or maybe, I don't remember, the first people were a little bit late. So I think that's what happened. The first people were a little bit late. We were a little bit late, but it was no problem because the first people were a little bit late, right? So we were going to be like a little bit behind anyways. So anyways, the lady there, she's like, oh my gosh, it's going to be the worst day ever. Like, I swear, I'm not exaggerating. Anybody that is in my escape room team, Alex, Stefan, Lisa, Sabine, like, you can vouch for me. This girl, Lisa wasn't there. You weren't there that day, but I probably told you the story. But this girl literally was like, this is going to be the worst day ever. Oh my gosh, when the first group is late, that makes the whole day horrible. Like, straight up just shooting like horrible bombs everywhere. It wasn't even like, oh yeah, it kind of sucks today that everybody's late. I'm like, okay, positive side. No, she was literally like, today's going to suck. It's going to be horrible. Mind you, it was like 8:00 in the morning. Like, it was really early. Like, it was 9-ish o'clock in the morning. We had just gotten coffee. It was like a crisp morning. Like, it was like full on fresh day. She was like putting on fresh negative socks. Right. So I just remember sitting there like in shock, just like, okay, hold your horses, whatever. And my friends are there. They know what I do, right? Like, they know that I'm a life coach and I'm like committed to the positive lifestyle. And I'm always just like, focusing on changing your words, changing your world. And it was funny because they're like looking at me and I'm looking at her and I'm just kind of like, yeah, but it could, it might not be that bad, just like taking off my life coach hat, taking off my life coach jacket, like taking off my life coach, like all my things. I'm like, Lunden, tools down. You are here to have fun with with your friends. This is just a moment to observe and to learn and to use it as a story and a teaching tool. But it was just like, oh my gosh. After that, I was like, oh my gosh. And even my friends were like, yeah, that was a lot. We might have our own things that we're working on, but like that was a lot. She was throwing it on thick that things were going to be just absolutely horrible. So it's like, of course she's going to have a horrible day. She's priming herself for a horrible day. She's going to look for more horrible things. More horrible things are going to be in her lenses. It's like you have on the lenses that are just looking for that, So if you wake up and say, hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. This day is going to be an amazing day. I'm excited for all the blessings that are coming my way. I'm excited because I'm a magnet for miracles and things are always, going in my favor and I am alive and there's abundance coming to me. Like you're going to just like look at things differently, straight up. Okay. Straight up. And so I think my biggest challenge from this, or my biggest thing I want you guys to take away from this, and I challenge you to do, is choose one word. Choose one word or phrase that you say regularly that by listening to this podcast and thinking about it, you're like, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one that I just say regularly. I need to nip it in the bud and I'm just going to choose a different word to replace it. And trust me, you're going to say that word a lot. You're going to go back. I'm so busy. I'm full. I'm just like, I had to go back and forth. You have to yank your own collar, like if in the dog analogy. And I only say the dog analogy because we have a puppy here in the house that I live in, and we're just all in the process of learning his model of the world and figuring out how to, make him safe and trained and feel good and, mind, but still be him, and it's like, so I think of that. It's like, we're really being consistent and persistent. And then of course he still has mistakes and goes to the bathroom in the house, or, we have to remind him, just like different things. It's like, you have those moments where you like shit on the ground and have to clean it up. But for real, you have those slip up moments. You have those slip up moments, regardless of when you decide to change your thoughts, regardless of when you decide to change things. And, that every time you catch it and switch it, that's like your brain doing a bicep curl. Right? Like every time you catch that thought and flip it, like think of your brain just doing like the deadlift and like PR, like bam, like that is building that strength, that resilience, and kind of building those habits, and also even removing some of those old pathways, old words, things you don't want to say. Change your words, change your world. Take out the old words, take out the old phrases, the old stories, the old records, and put in new ones that are very, cohesive, or like they mesh well with how you say you want to live, your goals, right? Very, very important that there's congruence there. That's the word I was looking for, congruence. Congruence with how you talk and how you say you want to show up in the world. Okay. So what's your word? What's the one you're going to reframe? I want to hear all about it. Feel free to send me a DM on social media. You can find me anywhere, especially Instagram at Life Like Lunden, or you can hit reply to any of my emails that I send to you. So if you're on my newsletter list, any of the emails I send, just hit reply. Let me know what your word is, any aha moments from the podcast. And if you're not on my email list, then you need to be. So you can go to lifelikelunden.com. And right there, you'll see my free mindset and workout calendar. And you'll just put your email in there. I'll send you a calendar every month with little nuggets that you can do throughout the month. And then you'll also be on my email list. So you can hit reply to any of those emails and say, hey, Lunden, my word is, and here's what I'm choosing to reframe it as. And here's how it's changed my world. I want to hear from you. And yeah, you're amazing. Keep showing up, keep doing the work. It's never ending. It's never ending. We're always going to talk about this. We're going to revisit how your words change your world. There'll be new stories. There'll be new points I'll bring in here that'll help evolve this coaching to meet you right where you are. But let me know your aha moments and keep on showing up.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Self-Love and Sweat, the podcast. Hey, do me a favor. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, give us a review. This really helps a lot. And share this with a friend. I'm only one person, and with your help, we can really spread the message of self-love and sweat and change more lives all around the world. I'm Lunden Souza, reminding you that you deserve a life full of passion, presence, and purpose, fueled by self-love and sweat. This podcast is a Hit Spot Austria production.